Well, I'm sure someone who said towards the new patriotic party on the conference about so a lot of releases out. Delegates, is it the power na be dimo? It but just like Nana Adodan Kwakufuado, Wakano, just like Alan Kwajo Chairman, Wakano, Asem Kese as I say MPP amanyo kun penkunimde come 2016. Inti wa amuko yi omono Nana Ado aka munyi nipa ebetimi ade nkaboma ba owo party ne ho do owo ni suade hunu wa na adwe so obetu ne ho ache na otimi ama MPP din kunim 2016. Alan Kwajo Chairman, apart from say wa confirm say MPP amanyoko ni ebie proto ho a 2016 akansie for flag bearership no osa wo mu no wasi studua say eye conference a eba so yi eye asem hia papa ni patriotic party if we say uhwema ye man panyin otisu yi osi nipa bi nim kwa adwom na kaka kwan ofa so odi ni nkunim nti adeso akese so de man panyin so say obekire Ghana for de say ampa ofa kwan papa so ana be fa akonwa na enye kwati kwan nti saa de yinkamfua no se MPP amanyuko no so no won ko ekokasiese ho a na ehu behia se won be yi nipa bi nim a won wonim de ewo odo ewo adaje ewo abotre na won tu ho ache dwumadie sonko de ma party no nye nipa bi akeke se efini bi aba na edi ni se ni se nti na ekona ese nemum won a won tu ho ache se won betimi aboa eye new patriotic party eye amanyuko no quickly menko eye Johnny Alhassan your post production and our multi TV onu nuaba nana ya be fumisemo mo tamale ya damasemo ho na nchia no odi no di anopei odi ma ho kani making ka wa kasa ma. I want to thank God Almighty for seeing my wife through labor and gifting us with a son. Today we celebrate 1 week of both mother and child. I also celebrate a 5-year milestone in working with multimedia. I thank God for how far He has brought me and my team of hard-working creatives. God bless. Johnny Alhassan, post-production. Ntubano, anyone kasa, and then thank God you are part of the team, that big team, that achievable team. Johnny Alhassan, we congratulate you. Bravo Kai on this special occasion. Well, Ubenya Kwenya, any yetini Edin Kitahong, but quickly, Mamenka, you say, Nana Achresu Ahine, Professor Ajudi Ampem, Anope, there was Nana, a baby bonus, and woman who go so sharing say, Odeba, Nana Yetime Bube, near the Aboa Adesia, one also energy baby, and which is no Kwabe, Nana Bruku, Anope, Wanima Nana Yachao. Ana ahafu Kenya si adishi nyina number 1 number 2 mosu ya chamo konya se nyina so se mokoso a mosu magibre na mo hwe eye bedwam wo Adom TV nti Kenya si number 1 Kenya si number 2 adishi onum maami druwa onsu ya chaw kwansu kusukra. Well, I can't just say in a countdown no anope era operansa ebetnase nemum yebekọ na yakotwa ya ho e de akansi adwumadie na abro ye ba e operansa na ebedi nkomo ansa na bidwafo atena se na de pensim mo abro ene ya wada April ne de toso eye edu chese china ane twam memenda multimedia group especially bedroom live feed from Tamale. You just can't be left out, so you don't need to miss it. I'll be back after this. Now to the releases in some how do I told you and pay the Bokata audio the Abramo we major the no more Storm FM the Beats FM station San so South Coastal TV and Oxy 98.5 and also Mama Adisha no so ati ama bibia ekoso kama about to about so ehun sem ne de deja ana bebre the abetom no say Ghana Revenue Authority and Yoko to investigate Sir John. The General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, Kwajo Usefrie, Dodona friend Sir John, is currently the subject of further controversy ahead of Saturday's Congress in Tamale. This time around, Sir John is in trouble with the state regarding paying taxes on his car rental businesses in Kumasi. Information available to us suggests that the Economic and Organized Crime Organization, IOCO, and the Ghana Revenue Authority are both investigating the car rental business of Sir John and will very shortly commence proceedings against him. It is suspected that the source of the funds used to start up the car rental business is unknown and that there are many unanswered questions regarding the car rental business. Enquiries at GRA earlier today revealed that firstly, the GRA has discovered large sums of money that were paid into the account of the car rental business, and secondly, that taxes have not been paid since the setting up of the car rental business. Particularly, there have been no payments of corporate tax to the Kumasi office of the Ghana Revenue Authority. Ghana Revenue Authority considers these lapses in payment of taxes on the part of Sir John very serious because, as a public figure, they believe Sir John should set an example for others to follow. We also made enquiries at IOCO to verify the information we had received. A caseworker who requested to remain anonymous due to the sensitivity of the investigation indicated to us that IOCO was concerned about large sums of money which was transferred from Sir John's personal account into the bank account of a supposed business located in Kumasi, which business the investigation revealed is the car rental business belonging to Sir John. And this one says, the IOCO caseworker also informed us that IOCO had frozen Sir John's personal bank accounts and the bank accounts of the car rental business as of April 7, 2014 for investigation. IOCO intends to go to court in a couple of weeks to secure confirmation order regarding the freezing of the bank accounts to prevent Sir John from accessing the said accounts while investigation is pending. IOCO's preliminary conclusion is that there may have been some money laundering activities involved and that they will be inviting Sir John very soon for questioning. We asked both institutions what prompted their respective investigations, and they confirmed that it was based on a petition dated 11th February 2014 they had received from one Maxwell Efriye. And what this report to say, and clearly soon Dominic Benya, somebody from the camp of Sir John, to respond to this quickly. Ghana Revenue Authority and IOCO to investigate Sir John. Ni na say car rental business via oyeno ehwasem enye ade papasa. And then from the office of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo calls for peaceful, successful conference. And let me just read what Nana says from his office. Fellow members and delegates of the New Patriotic Party, this weekend marks an important milestone in the history and future of our great party. For the second time at our party's National Delegates Conference, over 5,000 delegates will gather at the Tamale Sports Stadium in Tamale this Saturday to elect national officers to steer the affairs of the party for a 4-year term. No other party in our country has been anywhere near as bold in extending power to its rank and file, and I expect none will do so in the feasible future. Our task in Tamale on April 12, 2014 is simple but critical: to choose a team of capable national officers who will lead us as a united force to recapture power in the 2016 general elections. The MPP rank and file deserve a leadership which will provide with urgency a clear and credible strategic plan for achieving this purpose. We have done very well over the last 4 months under challenging conditions to hold across the length and breadth of the country nearly 26,000 democratic elections to choose some 140,000 officers to prosecute our 2016 campaign. In spite of the challenges, the high level of participation, energy, zeal, and camaraderie that these series of elections generated among our party activists across the country should leave the nation in no doubt that the MPP is coming back, stronger, more united, with a highly motivated grassroots organization. In this regard, I respectfully appeal to all delegates to vote for efficient candidates who can collectively enhance the image and fortunes of the party in every region of the land. In the well-known spirit of our party's democratic credentials, let us have peaceful, free, and fair elections. All well-meaning party members wish to see the success that we chalked in the polling station, constituency, and regional elections repeated at this weekend's National Delegates Conference. And further, in line with our tradition, both winners and losers come together after elections to promote the unity and fortunes of our party. We expect from the elected team two things: ensuring of unity of the party and leading us to victory in 2016. The Ghanaian people are looking to us in the MPP to provide a clear, strong direction to deliver them from the increasing hardships and hopelessness they have been plunged into by the Mahama-led administration. We need to restore hope and confidence in our young people. We need to restore hope and confidence in the leadership of the nation, and we must therefore accordingly conduct ourselves accordingly in a winsome manner. Finally, once again, I wish to congratulate all the new party officers from the polling stations, electoral areas, through the constituencies to the regions and external branches, and wish them the very best. And I also commend all former executives across the country for their high service and dedication to the cause of the party over the years. I reiterate my appeal to them to stay engaged in the activities of the party. May God bless our party, our country, and all of us. Signed, Nana Ado Dankwa Ekufu Ado. So that's from Nanette's camp. And quickly, from the camp of Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen, it's a goodwill message from Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen to MPP delegates attending the April 12, 2014 Tamale Delegates Conference. So from the office of Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen, also Nadieni. Ladies and gentlemen, on Saturday, April 12, 2014, our great party, the New Patriotic Party, will be meeting at the party's highest convocation, the annual National Delegates Conference in the Northern Regional Capital, Tamale. The upcoming convocation is taking place at a time when the party has lost 2 consecutive general elections and also lost a momentous and historical presidential election petition at the Supreme Court. Against this backdrop, the Tamale Conference has the most critical task of electing the party's national leaders who will lead us into 2016 battle for power. The foregoing scenario clearly gives the Tamale Conference an added critical importance. Going into this auspicious conference, therefore, I deem it appropriate to add my voice to the many others who are wishing our party great success in our deliberations, and to pray for the blessing of Almighty God for a peaceful, incident-free conference. Fellow Kukudites, the challenge facing our party going into 2016 is no doubt a formidable one. We are dealing with an incumbent which came to pass through what we consider to be very questionable means. Obviously, that incumbent will want to use 2016 to prove hook or crook that they won 2012 fairly. We can therefore not leave anything to chance or complacency in our preparation for 2016. We should be totally hungry, thirsty, and fully prepared for nothing but overwhelming victory, and that will depend on the caliber of leaders we elect come April 12. I am therefore appealing to all delegates to do their best to elect for our party competent leaders who will work their blood out for victory in 2016. It is important that approaching 2016, the party gets leaders who are competent, hardworking, and totally committed to the party's cause. The power to elect such leaders is in your hands as delegates. I therefore appeal to you to exercise the power in the best interest of the party, devoid of any persona or petty considerations. With the heightened tension that naturally goes along with every contest, a bit of tension has been generated over the course of the campaign towards the Tamale Conference. Nevertheless, our party is noted for its spirit of true democracy, which is no stranger to contests and competitions, internal and external. Let us therefore, as true Democrats, demonstrate our credentials by holding a peaceful conference to the admiration of all well-wishers and the disappointment of our detractors. The competition and contest should only help us elect the best material to lead the party and not to engender undue strife and petty rivalry. The peaceful outcome of our conference will serve to bolster the attraction of our party to all Ghanaians, most especially the voters who may not be necessarily members or supporters of our party. Ladies and gentlemen, I know that some people will still want to hear from me about my intentions to contest the flag bearership of our party. When the time comes, I don't think that so far I have left anybody in doubt as my readiness and intention to do so. But just in case anybody still has any doubt, my answer is yes. I am still ready and will contest when the time comes. I wish all party delegates, members, supporters, God's blessing, peace and safety in our travel to Tamale and from Tamale. God bless all. From Alan, Kwajo, Chairman, and the emphasis is on anybody with doubts. Uniana, Ebia, Wajin, Ayon, Kakra, Ayon, Tantan, Takasa, na Alan Kwajo, Chairman, any patriotic party, Ebia, Kwantua, Obekwa, Kusia, Kenya, and because I see her name say, no. Was Silipi on a press release or thereby ahead of Tamale conference. They say, Unia, why do you want Tantan Tantebiano? To Wajim, Ayadia, Ebia, a Kwantua, Alan Kwajo, Chairman, Bekwa Kosre, delegates, say, Monkono Mwa. Na onfa MPP amanyuko no enkonkunimdim 2016. Well, another release from and this one says Sir John sued for filing false accounts and also anyway, the new Patriotic Party's General Secretary Kwajo Owusu-Efree, popularly known as Sir John, has been sued in the Accra High Court for filing a statement containing false accounts of the party's expenditure in the 2012 elections with the Electoral Commission. The action was filed in the registry of the Accra High Court by Maxwell Efriye and the Association of Executive Patriots on 8 April 2014. The defendants are Sir John and the Electoral Commission, which is named as a nominal defendant in the suit. Well, the Abeto no Sabre, based on this release, Sir John, General Secretary, incumbent for the opposition New Patriotic Party, will be a friend of Maxwell Efriye, Edinakujina Eye Asendibia. And I have this one here. In the Superior Court of Judicature, in the High Court of Justice, Accra, Ghana, suit number BMISC 634/2014. Kwame Owusu-Ansah, house number BR74 Dadies, Ashanti. Sapon Kuma house number JB87, Jabin Ashanti. Anthony Jemfiamia, plot 3 block 11, New Tafo Kumasi versus New Patriotic Party per its National Elections Committee, MPP headquarters are Salam Down, Accra. The Electoral Commission, National Headquarters of the Electoral Commission, 6th Avenue Ridge, Accra. Order for interlocutory injunction was Emiawe and is being granted. Kumewu, Drabin, and Menchia North constituencies. And also Wasem Akujina Sendibia, the Nippon strangers on it. Tabo Etosa Impeswami and Sanoso Sebra New Patriotic Party Eko Eye Akensi Mono one intimi Masa Eye Impeswa Miensa Mabodi Entimi Enkotuaba Kumewu Jabin and Menchia North. So that's it. Countdown to the New Patriotic Party one Congress a conference Basono and from a release also from the camp of era Paul Afoko. Quickly, let us go through that release too and see whether MPP Adoma Memendano Bibia and Amnekwema Echo Jojo, and I said there are more issues coming up. And you know, this one is also from the office of one of the aspirants, Paul Afoko, in response to what they claim is falsehood. And then I'm trying to say, our attention has been drawn to some media discussions in relation to a letter that Mr. Paul Afoko, an aspirant in the upcoming internal elections, wrote to the Elections Committee of the New Patriotic Party on some concerns about the upcoming National Delegates Conference in Tamale. Some workers of the party have brought the letter into the public domain and are vehemently seeking to twist the contents of this letter as part of their propaganda war against Mr. Paul Afoko. We wish to state categorically that nowhere in the letter did Mr. Afoko mention the names of Nana Dodankwa Akufo-Addo or Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Mr. Afoko has a great deal of respect for these gentlemen and has very good relations with both of them. Those who are seeking to use the names of these two leading members of our party to run down some candidates in the upcoming elections will be doing these two gentlemen and the party no good. Nana Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia belong to many categories of our party that qualify to be delegates to the national conference, and so Mr. Afoko will not say that these two gentlemen cannot vote. What Mr. Afoko sought to do was to seek clarification on some of the electoral procedures that were outlined in a document that was presented to the contestants by the party and to draw the party's attention to many outstanding issues regarding the elections. Mr. Afoko also used the opportunity to mirror the party's own constitution, particularly Article 9, Section A, subsection 2I and 2II, which clearly named some group of people who are entitled to attend meetings of the National Executive Committee but without the right to vote. In all things, the MPP is always guided by her constitution, and if there are ambiguities in the application of the provisions of the constitution, it is only proper for one to seek clarification on matters like that, and that was exactly what Mr. Afoko's letter was about. It is strange that all the things that Mr. Afoko raised in this letter, these detractors picked on only the point about who qualifies to vote under Article 9 and went further to embellish to suit their agenda. Since the letter is already in the public domain, we are compelled to attach it here for all to see what it is that Mr. Afoko wrote about the new patriotic party. And maybe when light is thrown on the facts of the letter, no more mischief can be created. So from the office of Paul Afoko, quickly, they are also responding to in Semahodwa, the workers are hold today, nobody abeto edra. So a lot of releases, all geared towards countdown to the MPP conference at Adoma on the 12th of April at Tamale Sports Stadium. Quick break, I'll be right back. Yes, sir, Emma Akwa Babim Eba Bedroom on Adom TV, Multi TV. So text message line there 1760. A lot of your text messages about me say press releases about you love to respond to it. Now was watching Radio Bedroom. But now countdown to MPP Congress. Memenda our Tamale Sports Stadium. You catch your baby ada MPP Penifoni be my only doing come towards preparation, towards matters pop up each and every blessed day. Saturday na. But anyway, era appearance honorable. Yes, I can ever hand say Obakaya. Ono ni nipa ba ko from day one. Okika nsem bia na oka say MPP fa ha esi ha era na ma ko ha na osusu se nkunimdie ebetimi ewie peyo. Yenya no ha no peyo yesa bebusa no ninsusuye no abamusa na ogiri se baabi abato on hye so kono bibia mu da ho fan se oni a o corporation to so about say national chairman, say general secretary, say national organizer, national youth organizer, women's organizer, Nasara wing, you know, the other kwema echo ye kama. Everybody say that's short notice, and so wajibre the aba in your busy schedule. Bibia boko there. I see. Constituency boko.
No one you know so
I see. Obi ase mo bedi ka say MPP mo ehu sa na.
Oh, men ka say MPP mo ehu. Emunye ehu kra. Em say sabi say akonwa eto ofie na eto aprea normally obehu say as watimi wakame wabo me kakra eba. But even the level ye who our party in terms of and I don't think say something that one can expect or where we have come from. Your court case on 29th of August. Now the thinking of some people was that well, young Congress immediately your flag bearer. Now flag bearer no. So then I cannot contest a national position. National Executive Committee.
Especially your good self.
Yes, and in Emma, the decision was that no, we should go by what we have done in the past. Again, a bright say Congress, you know. What we saw is the proposal was say a bit to me and Kaysan is sikani hone ade papa bi ntinka be ya yankona yenyeno in 10 different regions. That is when I came in and said say me feel say bibia etia yemrapon no. My National Council of the party so ejitumu say looking at the provisions of the constitution and the times in which we are no, there's nothing stopping us from living by our own constitution and having the Congress at a single venue. Suddenly, it chooses to see about Tamale. Okay. And I think since then, no, preparations have been underway. The only change we had was changing the date from 30th March to 12 April. Yeah, and the Ababedu Babia. In fact, I think it was 1st March to 12 April. The Ababedu Babia away.
Okay, but from Babia Ote, you're not far from elections committee, you know, and from headquarters. Your observations so far, candidates towards Tamale, maybe
well, going for a position at the national level of the party, and easy. It's almost like running for president in this country. You have to go around and tour the whole country. Probably the only difference is that you will not be holding public rallies, but in as much as you want to lead just MPP, no, party delegates, and it's quite time consuming. It tells you say running these campaigns is easy. Obia to me run it through just to get to the end cry. That's all man. If you say you say be number start, you be doing film number say me more you know to be to me go through about a year aspirant cry Nadine and Nimaba ballot paper and so on. That's why and he must be commended for lifting the image and the morale of the party to those heights. So,
is it share the election committee? They are to do bobo. The Abetuja BDC say, Quaya, in your animal on MPP, I want no Adom MPP Amayukono, one or intimate, only to me, as should be, sir. I'm about to about on their behalf, proxy. Both locally and foreign wise in Nano. No actually, so Bambo, when she share, and no actually, so they be more Casa, Yema. One and Casa that pot you were getting question. You know, raise a lot of issues. Probably on all these issues, no, it will ensure even playing field for all contestants.
Well, Majidi said the elections committee in Juma, and they say, on behalf of somebody in Shisheba to her, ebeboama election no akoso in a way aspirants will not feel say they've been shortchanged. However, aspirants also being stakeholders of the whole process, they also have a right to give input to the elections committee. This issue of proxy, so 4 years ago, it became a major thorn in our flesh. Elections, some of the people who had lost came out publicly to say they believe they lost because of the incidents of proxy. However, you have to weigh that also against the right for somebody to exercise their franchise to vote through third party, as we see with even our national elections. And to the fact say it was an issue doesn't mean say elections committee yama proxy ember. I think we are beyond that point. What is the contention now? They say it's only say a year proxy. Now from the past year who say ama issues abanintino. I feel say elections committee ni bit here. Nkomun create a separate polling station, for instance. Now omo possibly emma proxy for ento abano after they've cast all the votes for the identifiable groupings. Until ABMPs to regions to Council of Elders to. Then everybody's attention can now be focused fully on the proxy vote process. It does two things for us. One, it makes sure say Yama me as a candidate a proxy list. Now don't forget say these things and you our pictures. Proxy is a meaning so much time I album four pictures so 4 pictures any so. What it means is say me as to whom MP I can go and vote. Whilst if the proxy voting is happening like at the same time, somebody else can be in queue where the proxies are supposed to vote. I think they're supposed to. No, so I got to as representing me because I've given him proxy. Yeah. Proxy. Because they be now what say where you may main register him, and so now when to me and free. To avoid all these things from happening, I think say appropriate say to me a separate proxy polling station. It will clear all doubts. After all, you are talking of about 130 something people.
131.
131.
Not 24, the local.
So clearly, it is not so much. It shouldn't raise so many issues if we do it and do it properly.
But again, style of campaigning, what is happening here? I say, I can't see na quite say, yan say yin
well, normally be abominated. I think so. We all have to condemn it unconditionally. This is an internal fight. Nipana a contest the minimum ebi hu nsem bone pa se me de beto ha obukura befuno so at say bi out there is nso abode na adem no mu di national officer but nju me tra ha money di engasa asomesi na obenti media ne se mekota mali na delegates na ekoto aba no aka kira om se nipa we ye de party ni tumi share ne nsa se onhwe so no ne a waye ni party e opposition so be hwe na such an officer the near brave from party Japade benkum nifa and infifri enti say me de ne din ene sa normal no beto abonte na egu ye party no ehun fi se menimu a e share delegate a menim so okoto aba ne bia when ye public elections no wa be your campaign no publicly you know who is going to cast this vote to go to the place and make your case to them to me you see this opportunity ma eji yenuanom a omo use mass media and they fight this battle omo yen in a negative way to put an end to it because na yebeka bia no yebewie no na NDC4 those as facts to come at us come election 2016. Our goal is not simply to build a party. Our goal is to build a solid party to be winning elections. And what is the sense in during the process of building that solid party, you put out issues which at the end of the day will come to haunt you.
You know, Prancer, of course, Suma on the Mashie Journey, you know, this year, a honum. Na you train common now for preparations get was a Tamale conference about so April 12 memenda a day in here. My text message in 1760 we are just about wrapping up, but two major questions in times like this are more position, you know, what are you looking out for in Nipa delegates one be we trying to pay another the release about Alan Kojo maintain the release about they seem to be singing a young bako in the say your opposition men ko DF ni bi achi ye hwe nipa obetim the partner ko nkunim die 2016 ye hwe nipa obetim the nkabo maba ye hwe nipa obetim atu no ho ache ye hwe nipa owa adaje za qualities in na both these flag bearer aspirants you know they are looking out for, but in your opinion what you say brace mo nipa ben sa ni here so mbedi MPP ani.
Well, clear say we're in very challenging times. First of all, what I will be looking out for nipa ombedi no kre amaye. The position of a national officer of the party, especially the chairman or the chairperson and the general secretary, they are very powerful and very sensitive positions. And right now on some other network, I was talking about when you want to let some things happen inside the party. The power to convene the meetings, various meetings that will culminate in a decision, rests with the national chairman. Onona Obama Steering Committee atrasi. Onona Obama National Executive Committee atrasi. Onona Obama National Council atrasi. Delegates Conference cry he is still the chairman. And from steering committee through NEC to council and ultimately to conference, that is the person who is going to chair. He is the one who is going to call for all those meetings to happen. It is the interest in alignment with the general interest of the party. And I'm not talking the interest of an individual or the seeming majority, if you will. I'm talking about what will inure to the benefit of MPP. If Sanipani interests are aligned with benefits of MPP now, the interest of MPP, then you will have a problem, because obey you to position now or the amano to skew processes, events, dates, to suit what he personally thinks should happen for MPP, and that might not necessarily take us to power. Again, when you've gone out into, say, National Council, National Executive Committee, Steering Committee, or even conference, taking decisions here, it is the job of the General Secretary to communicate some of these decisions outside. We will all recall, say, there's been incidents that Yako National Council, I could take decisions, for instance, President Kufuor could attend John Mahama inauguration. Now, based on some information that was put out there, Sabri General Secretary said until this decision was taken at a council. And you know, that is potentially the kind of danger that can face the party if somebody in a sensitive position to the General Secretary and yet in choosing these people, you hear we be no crime party no. Aye tuntum, aye fita, and yet, and what she that some could do for. We have seen, say, we are faced with a very formidable opponent, which is the NDC. To hear any problem in times of challenges, no. I can say no. I have seen videos of somebody like Obey Japan in the Electoral Commission strong room, in the face of raw intimidation by Rojo Metununo, Fifi Kweti and others casting aspersions, all kinds of things. He just sat and smiled through the whole thing and did what was expected of him. It is not easy. I have gone through similar things at the constituency level with just people from the constituency. Do you go through this at the national level with party stalwarts from other political parties, it tells you, say, Nipano, Ojitanenaiso.
I see.
And that is the kind of things that, for me, I'll be looking out for in the kind of leadership here, because this is not a time we have to have leadership who can waver. Look at some of the issues, some of the aspirants or the candidates are beginning to put out to challenge the establishment, to challenge the processes. That is what we need to be doing in 2016. And sana election so. And this year transit, you could election new year, and sana yakasi court. So near Ecosono Enya, a Siaka. They insist to say it has to be corrected, and sana election edusu.
Okay, all right, quickly. Probably one of the issues are quite controversial. I told you on pay almost all the papers are, and there's a release to that effect from the camp of Paul of Koko. With your stay with the New Patriotic Party, people like Nanado and Baumia,
well, the New Patriotic Party, your constitution, quite confusing when it gets to certain areas. The membership of conference how the delegates are constituted, determined in a certain way, stated in the constitution. For instance, it will state that National Executive Committee members can vote. What you need to do, it will not list who those officers are under the delegates for conference. So you now have to go under the article which spells out who those
qualifies to be national executive.
It lists a whole number of people, and then in a sub-article it says this: chairpersons of sector committees, past national chairpersons, past presidential candidates, past running mates, past general secretaries, directors at the National Secretariat, and such other members as the National Executive Committee may determine, shall be entitled to attend meetings of National Executive Committee but without the right to vote. He said they shall be entitled to attend meetings. It did not say they are members of National. It did not say they are members of National Executive Committee. It says they shall be entitled to attend meetings. The clerk to Parliament is entitled to attend the meetings of Parliament, but he's not a member of Parliament. He's the clerk to Parliament. In fact, the clerks are tabled from the clerk himself to his deputies to some other ranking officers at the clerk's office. They attend meetings of Parliament, but they are not members of Parliament.
Well, I would have wished that you would come more, but it means that it's open for discussion.
Yes, indeed. My understanding from Focus outfit, as I have seen, in fact, my interest in this whole exercise, so we could lose or say you say this in and when I heard this matter, I took pains to gather all the documentation. I'm not hearing say they are saying say they have singled out any individual.
No.
Yes, my understanding is they've been presented with the list of voters. They've looked at the constitution, and in their view, certain categories of persons, like directors at the national headquarters, who I mentioned, are entitled to attend meetings of the National Executive Committee, have been put on the list as delegates to the conference. Now, they come under supposedly that article, that line in the constitution which says National Executive Committee members. But when you go here, it's not saying they are members. It says they will have to, they can attend, they have the right to attend meetings without the right to vote. No. People like Nanado, President Kufuor, they have so many permutations based on which they may be they may be allowed to vote. It may exist or it may not exist. But if you take any individual, you may want to go through the whole process. And then look at them.
Quite interesting, but very short time to do. One area, this is after my conference. We will call my show. I'm sure say in a brief interaction where countdown to Nyame Adma 12 of December conference at Eba so or also the version aba or say boko and tuma kukudufu or more party no do or more adaje so party no in a minute you try one aba